Here in France, the murder investigation continues in the Quentin Deranque case. He is the far-right activist who died after being beaten to death last week in the city of Lyon by suspected far-left supporters. His death has fueled political tensions in France. And on Wednesday, far-right leader Jordan Bardella accused President Emmanuel Macron and his allies of helping strengthen the hard left. France 24 senior reporter James Andre has been covering the story for us and joins us in the studio with the latest. Hi there, James. Great to see you. What can you tell us about where this murder investigation stands?
Well, look, the inquiries are ongoing. For now, what we have learnt just minutes ago is that some of these arrests for interrogation, what we call the garde à vue in France, are being extended for another 24 hours for some members of this group of people who've been arrested. 11 arrests have been made. These people are in for questioning, and they're being held for the time being. And what we will know more at 5 p.m. this afternoon, Paris time, because indeed the prosecutor will be giving a press conference about the case. So what we do know, though, is that there are some members who are very close to one of the MPs in the French Parliament, and that is Raphaël Arnaud. This, of course, has been a big story here in the French media. Raphaël Arnaud, who is the co-founder of the extreme left movement that indeed these people are thought to have been part of, who indeed beat Quentin Deranque to death. And so he co-founded this movement in 2018, and one of his very close collaborators has been questioned in this investigation. His name is Jacques-Élie Favreau. He's been questioned by the police. His lawyer has publicly said that indeed he did take part in the violence, but was not the one who was, at the origin of this, the killing of this person. He didn't give the fatal blow.
Brain damage.
Exactly. So Quentin Deranque. And so indeed, a lot of people here on the political spectrum are asking for this MP to step down. So, we do have a real crisis here, both at the Parliament, and we are waiting for this investigation to carry on.
Now, this terrible case, it's really inflamed political tensions here between the far right and the far left. There are municipal elections coming up in March. We've got a presidential election coming up next year. How are we seeing accusations being thrown out on both sides?
Well, absolutely. What we are seeing is first France Unbowed, which is the party that is allied in a sense to this movement called the Young Guard. And I mean, Mr. Mélenchon is the leader of that party, basically stands by Raphaël Arnaud, who is this MP who is indeed being, questioned. His position at the Parliament is being questioned. And basically all the, higher ranks of the party are standing by their MP, with Mr. Mélenchon saying that he's a very good MP, that he's a hard worker. But on the other hand, what we're having, of course, is the extreme right parties, as well as a large part of the centre, saying that, this shows that LFI, France Unbowed, is an extremist party, that they are bent on violent tactics, and that indeed they should not be voted for. So what we have is a lot of political wrangling around what has happened, with political violence in a sense. Since yesterday, for example, the France Unbowed headquarters had to be evacuated because of a bomb threat. There is a march that is planned by extreme right-wing activists this weekend in Lyon, and the mayor is trying to get that march banned because he was worried for a rise in tension and violence. And of course, what we have here is basically the national rally and the centre also basically trying to very much label France Unbowed as a violent party, and we even have left-wing parties who were allied in the previous parliamentary elections with France Unbowed, saying that they cannot uphold these alliances given this climate of violence. And this was former President saying that indeed this alliance could not carry on. I was talking about François Hollande, of course, from the Socialist Party. So yes, this is indeed redesigning the political spectrum just before these very important elections, both municipal and presidential, and it's a very difficult political time for France Unbowed, who for now doesn't seem to have established a clear strategy.
Intense socially here in France. James Andre, thank you so much for putting this into context for us. Appreciate it.